Okay. Good morning, guys. Hi. How's everyone? Hi, guys. Hi. Mama's Proud. Every time I come across a person that knows me through my music, that's the first song that they actually talk to me off. Mama's Proud, because it's, according to me, it's very personal. You know, it's very close to heart. It exposes a part of me that I would like to consider vulnerability to an extent. You know, it's an amazing song. It's an amazing song, both spiritually, mentally, as well. From an artistic point of view, in my opinion, it is also monumental, you know, because it speaks a lot on my growth ever since I came to Poland and ever since I started the whole music thing to begin with. It all started in 2020 when it was during the COVID lockdown, you know. For most people, they could classify it as a time where no one didn't have anything to do. They could do anything, right? So in that time, I chose to explore my soul. In which case, I was also, you know, faced with the question. So now that you're 20, right, and you finished high school, what do you want to do with your life? Do you want to start pursuing music, or do you want to continue with school? Continuing with school meant me coming here to Poland, right? Continuing with my music career meant staying in Zimbabwe and trying to hustle through it, you know. So I decided, you know, school first, because I'm sure there are more opportunities in Europe than there are back at home. You know, no shade, of course. It's the truth. It's facts. You know, and the moment I got here, I got a job in KFC. And after getting the job in KFC, I came across a friend of mine called Panache Nyamande. Big shout out to my brother Panache. He's the one that said, "Hey man, you've got the height. You know, you're not that bad looking as well. So what about you try modeling?" You know, I was like, me, model? Could never be me, to be honest. I could never thought in 1,000 years that I could ever be a model in my whole life. And I was like, you know what the heck? Let me just give it a try. This was April of 2022, and what do you know? The first job that I got paid me 1,000 zlotys. First job. I just, you know, searched up on the internet for the, you know, closest agency that was within the proximity of where I used to stay, and the first agency that came on the spot was the first agency that I went to. Ironically, the name of the agency was Spot Management. Big shout out to them. After that, you know, 3 years down the line, I'm doing modeling, and I was like, you know, there's a passion of mine that I was exploring a few years ago that I never really got the chance to, you know, to explore deeply. And I was like, if I keep making excuses of waiting for the right moment to do it, I probably will never do it. So I will start building my own studio bit by bit, and just start, you know. So from the proceeds that I was getting from work and the modeling gigs as well, I bought a mic. And coincidentally, I don't believe in coincidences, of course, you know, so I'll say gracefully, in that time, I was sharing an apartment with my now producer, my now friend, Kuba, who was making beats, you know. So it was kind of annoying me at night every time that I would hear someone doing this sound at night. I'm like, what the hell, man? It's like 2 a.m. in the middle of the night and someone is doing this. But I didn't know that it was him making beats, you know. So I think probably he was doing this on the beat to the BPM. A night after, I'm like, yo, man, I hear you making some really, really, really weird noises at night, really annoying. Could you please stop? And then he was like, hey, I make beats, you know, so probably that's why. And I've got headphones, so I won't hear you when you knock. So next time, maybe you can just give me a call if I'm making too much noise. I'm like, wait, hold on a second. You said you make beats, right? I'm actually a musician. I'm trying to, you know, get into it myself as well. Maybe we could start working together. What do you know? It's my life story, you know. Yeah. Started from modeling show, but now looking for more. Mama's the key going no. Never give up on the road till you blow. I see you struggling up in the glow, and I'm proud to be watching you grow. Sort of like to wrap this up, I will explain to you how the process of writing Mama's Proud came about, right? Me and Kuba the bass producer I know. We're walking, actually.
Man, it's been very difficult for me lately, you know, to make music and I'm facing such crazy writer's block, bro.
Okay, what's wrong, man?
Oh no, I can't find the right beat to make music with, man. Man, I'll be honest with you, I go through YouTube all day, every day, you know, and I really can't find a beat that helps me express what I'm feeling, you know. I mean, there are many different, you know, good producers and all, but I can't find just that one beat, you know what I'm saying? So
Okay, like actually, I made something a couple of days ago, but I don't know if it's your style though.
Man, what you mean style, man? Fuck your style, I'm versatile, man. What you mean?
Okay, I'm gonna show you.
Okay.
And we were going to get some food in Żabka.
I'm like, what the hell is wrong with you guys? You know, you can relax, like chill the fuck out, man. What do you mean?
What? Like,
What do you mean, bro? I got an idea for
Żabka is like a convenience store. It's everywhere in Poland, actually. My Polish buddies know exactly what I'm talking about. So we were walking to Żabka to go grab some food. And he played this beat. You know, he played his beat while we were walking. And then I just started humming, no.
okay.
I actually have it on record. I have literally that part on record. It was.
What do you think? It's cool?
Yeah, it's cool. We can give it a shot. Let's go to the studio though.
It was crazy. And then he was like, wow, actually that sounds kind of dope. You know, let's go to the studio. And then right after that, boom, we went to the studio and there we were seated, you know, and I started doing exactly that to the beat or on the mic, you know.
At least I got the melody. I'm trying to figure out how I'm gonna go from 3, 2, 1, go! Mumbly, mumbly, mum. Mumbly, mumbly, mum. Mumbly, mumbly, mum. Mumbly, 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 mum. Mumbly, 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 mum. Mumbly, 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 mum.
From the beginning to the end. I'll play it up so that you guys can also hear, you know, how it went from the first to the end, literally just going right off the bat.
Mumbly, mumbly, mum. It's literally mumbly, mumbly. Mumbling everything, no.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No.
Eventually, as time went on, you know, as I was trying to structure that melody to fruition and to make it an actual song, I remember when I was when I was in the tram, you know, I was in the tram writing down the lyrics to the song, and I was actually on a call with my mom.
Hey, mama. How you doing, ma?
I'm okay, and you, my son?
I'm good. I'm good. I just missed you. I wanted to talk to you, you know?
And then she was just telling me, hey son, I see you making waves in Poland. You know, you're following your passion, and it is very inspirational. It's inspiring to your siblings, inspiring to the people around you, and I just wanted you to know that I'm proud of you. I wish you a good day at work today. And I started writing the song, you know. I started from modeling shows, and now I'm looking for more. Mama said, keep going on, never give up on the road till you blow. I see you sparkling up from the glow, and I'm proud to be watching you grow, you know. All of the evil you see in the world, I pray you don't give up your soul. So it was pretty much the conversation that I was having with Mom.
Yes, mama. I hear you. I love you, you know.
Love you too. I love you more than you do.
You're very competitive.
Crazy enough, I just put it to the song. Yeah, that's how it started.
I was on a call with Mom, right? Right. And she was telling me about my you know, just, you know, helping me reflect on my journey here in Poland as far as my music career goes and my modeling career goes.
Yeah.
And I just, you know, I was in a trap while I was on the call with her on this one. It made me reflect a lot. And you know, the ideas just kept flooding. You remember the other day I was telling you I'm finding it difficult to find the right beat. So the ideas just came flooding in my head now.
We are unblocked now.
So pretty much.
Pretty much.
I want you to. I hope you're gonna like it. You know, if you can put the beat right.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Started from modeling show, but now looking for more. Mama's the key going no. Never give up on the road to you.
So the line started from the modeling shows, but now I'm looking for more.
Yeah.
More. What are you searching for?
More as far as looking within, you know, looking from within, as far as I got to a point where I was like, you know what, this modeling thing is working, but I wanna. There's a passion of mine that I was looking for, that I was pushing for in like the past 4 years, and I want to go back to that position again, you know, to start exploring more deeply as far as my art goes, and that's the more that I mean in the song, following my passion for music. Yeah. What was my mindset in the studio recording this track? I thought it was gonna be a hit song. Hey, I wrote. Okay, I'll be very fair. Every song of mine that I write, I've got this idea, this song is gonna be billions or millions of streams. At some point, it may not be now, but at some point, this thing is gonna blow up, because right now, people don't care until they start caring. You know what I mean? There's so many people in the music industry that are always trying to remain relevant. But for me, I'm doing it for me, you know? For whoever is gonna join in on the journey, they're in for a treat. This is one thing I can say. So when I was in the studio, or every time I'm in the studio, right, I treat the studio as a lab, and I'm the scientist. So it's pretty much most of the things that I do is experimenting. Hell, Mama's Proud was a song I never thought ever in my life I'd ever make, because I started making music from the Afro house standpoint, you know, and then evolved into R&B, and then evolved into hip hop. And in every one of those aspects and genres, I am doing my best to make sure that I leave a mark, and I'm very unique in my own way. So this is what I was doing while I was in the studio in that day. How can I be as unique as possible and still remain authentic? See, still remain Russell, but be as unique as possible. So that's what was going on in my brain at that time when I was making that song, or pretty much every time I'm in the studio. I'm sure you can ask Kuba, he can attest to it and tell you that, hey man, this guy is always coming up with crazy ideas in the studio. So yeah, the conversation I had with my mom while I was in the tram, writing the lyrics down of the song, you know, were pivotal to, you know, making the song as well. Reminiscing on all the great things I've since achieved, you know. Coming from Zimbabwe, it's not such a famous country for, you know, for stuff like that, to be honest. Let's be honest here. But, you know, trying my best to try and see if I can put my own country and my own culture, my own people on the map, you know, as far as that, as far as modeling goes, were also a reason to, you know, coming up with the lyrics to the song as well. I'm hoping that as you guys listen to the song, you can also see my perspective on how I'm sharing the story, important it means to me, and I hope it also speaks to you in a different way. Maybe for you it's not modeling, maybe for you it's something else. Maybe for you it's something else. Maybe as long as it is, you know, part of your ambitions, part of your dreams that you're willing to you know, to make come true. That song should be able to speak to you in that sense, that, you know, you can always, it's always okay to go by yourself, put yourself in a cave and work on yourself, work on self-accountability, work on self-responsibility, work on self-trust, work on confidence, work on yourself, you know, staying true to self. It is okay for you to do that. And always when there's someone who's willing to give you real advice that is good for you to be able to go from point A to point B, take it. Because only people that actually genuinely love you will want to see you succeed. Otherwise, most of the people are just jealous of you.
How has your mom influenced your journey in music and love?
My mom is, like I said initially, has been a big influence from the beginning, watching the way she's raised us, you know, and the way that she'd always reminded us that in whatever you do, I'll always pray for you, and whatever you do and wherever you are, I'll always be there for you in your heart, and I will never forsake you, and I'll never abandon you. I remember her telling me these words on a daily basis almost growing up, because we grew up in such a hard life. yes, there were highlights, man, but I'm sure everyone who stayed in the homestead that I stayed at, or at my grandparents' house, could attest to the fact that it could be better. You know, I'm not saying it was the worst. We always had food to eat. We had everything we needed, but it could always be better, you know. And in those hardships that we went through together, she said, "What, no matter what, I'll never abandon you, no matter how bad it gets." So based off of that, her influence on my music and her influence on how I view life in general has been really huge. You know, you can see it in the way that I carry myself and the advice that I give to other people as well, that mama raised me right, you know what I mean? So yeah.
So you think got in the cave on my own, got out, I'm shining like God. What does that lyric mean to you personally?
There was a time just before, rather let me say, within the time frame I was writing that song, I was in a moment of looking for self-identity, right? So that's what I mean by got in the cave on my own, and then I got out, I'm shining like gold. So I put myself in a cave, you know, to look for the light from within, you know, and push myself to the limits. Because sometimes for you to see the light, you need to get into the dark. You know, you need to put yourself in the dark for you to see the light. So in which case I started soul searching. I'm still on the, you know, I'm still on it. I'm still soul searching as well. I haven't really, you know, figured out what exactly is going on, but that's what I mean. That's what I meant, you know. And when I figured out what exactly I wanted, at least initially, I got out and now I'm shining like gold, man. I'm doing shows, finally, you know, fulfilling the dream that I've always dreamt about when I was younger, you know, that I dreamt of when I was younger, of performing, you know, doing my music thing, and that's exactly what's going on. Hell, there was a fashion show this year in May, and I performed at it. You know, 3 songs, if not 2 songs.
Yeah, oh yeah, yeah. Started from modeling show, but now looking for more. Mama's the key going no, never give up on the road till you blow. I see you sparkling up in the glow, and I'm proud to be watching you grow. All of the evil we see in the world, I pray you don't give up your soul. Started from modeling show.
3 songs, yeah. One was Mama's Proud. Oh, the performance was bomb. Big shout out to G Power. Those are the, you know, most amazing dance group that I've ever, you know, been with. Big shout out to Diana and the crew. They really made that moment monumental for me. You know, they made it so. Hey man, they will always stay in my heart, pretty much. The dance that they made, that they choreographed, it was really. It matched the mood. Everything was just perfect in that time. So, yeah, that for me is gold. That for me is me coming out and shining like gold.
How do you balance ambition with staying grounded and humble?
That's a really good question. How do you balance ambition with remaining grounded and humble? That's a very good question. It's very difficult sometimes, I won't lie. But if you've got the right mom to guide you through stuff like that, you're good to go. But on a more personal POV, from a more personal POV, the attention that you start getting really does get to you. So if you're not down to earth, if you're not true to self, you may actually get swayed by the winds of the earth. In my culture, there's a saying that goes, "Zingizi gonyera pamwe, maruva enyika hapere," which means you need to be grounded because the wonders of the world are endless, you know? So I always try to reiterate that into my own head, you know, so that I instill discipline within myself. If for the most part, stay true to self. If you're honest to yourself, I think most of the things start falling in place. Okay, fine. I'm gonna let you in on a little secret, guys, okay? So I'm doing a challenge. Me and my friend Denzel are doing a challenge called 75 Hard, right? This challenge, I take it for, Denzel is the one that introduced the challenge to me, and I take it as a challenge to instill discipline and consistency and accountability within. So, as I mentioned earlier, right, the moment you have these qualities within yourself, other things outside of you do not really affect you that much, especially staying true to self, right? Once you have an identity, right? Once you have your own personal identity, you won't have to fake it for anyone else. because you are free now. It is a source. It's a source of freedom. It's a discipline is a source of freedom. This is what I think, right? So, no matter how much pressure comes at you, right, you will never be. You're immovable. They cannot move you. You're so rigid and stern and strict in your own values. Once you have discipline, So yeah, I've done a few, things for me to be able to have such a mindset that remains vigilant under pressure, vigilant under the world's constantly changing pressures, and especially when it comes to attention. It really is difficult, I won't lie. The attention feels nice. Everybody is calling out your name. Everybody is looking at you, So if you can stay true to self, you can be confident and just remember that you're you, and you're disciplined, and none of those pressures mean anything as long as you remain true to self. Yeah. What message do you want people to feel from this record, and how does your journey connect to where you are now? I'll start from responding to the next, because I think it answers both questions. I'll respond to the latter. So the question reads, your journey started from modeling. How does that connect to where you are now? I've had a lot of people actually asking me, how does your music in any way connect to modeling in any way? And I'm like, look, as a person who wants to be in the showbiz business, right? I need to know how to act. I need to know how to be an actor. I need to know how to express myself in infinite number of ways, in as many ways as I can. So it could be through my voice. It could be through my writing. It could be through my looks. It could be through my movements. In every aspect, every atom of my being needs to be able to reflect artistry and creativity. So I think that answers the question, right? How does that connect? Because each and every one of those things is art, right? Each and every one of those things is art. So that's how it connects. And what message do I want people to feel from this record, specifically Mama's Proud? Look at it from the standpoint of it doesn't matter where you start, right? It doesn't matter where you start or how you start. The most important thing is starting. It doesn't matter how or when. You just need to start whenever it is gonna be, right? That's the most important part. Ambition is not a bad thing. You can always keep wanting more, right? But always remain humble despite your ambition. Always try and see if you can remain humble. So if you listen to the lyrics of the song and read them segment by segment, you realize that that's pretty much the message I was trying to push from the get-go. Yeah. If your mom were sitting right next to you, what would you want her to know about Mama's Proud? Wow, what a question, huh? If mom was right here, what would I want her to know? Let's say, hey, Ma, I love you. And everything I do in my life is a reflection of your goodness, right? Everything I do in my life is a reflection of your amazingness. Everything I do in my life is a reflection of your teachings. Okay, fine. I've done my fair share of mistakes, I would lie, where I have, slipped a little bit. But for the most grand things, or even in the little things that I do, I try and always remember her teachings. And that song attests to the fact, to the fact that I've seen the struggle that we've gone through as growing up, and it has inspired me and motivated me to become or to cultivate such a character within me that has made me become the man I am today, whose mom can be proud of, whose mom can brag about. I'm not perfect. I'm not saying this because I'm perfect. I'm not being really narcissistic here. I am saying that mom's lessons have been very, very, very pivotal to my behavior, to my character, the way I carry myself, even up to the extent of of my artistry, So in every aspect of the things that I do, there's a hint of mom in there. And the song, Mama's Proud, I think it speaks volumes in how I believe or how I feel. She's proud of me. And I thank her for that, for her telling me that on that day on the call, or on that voice note. I don't really remember, but yeah, I'm very grateful to mom for that, man. I won't drop a tear. I'm a real, but it almost came out, yeah. And I hope that as she's watching this, she knows, because I'm not scared to tell it to the whole world that. That I love you, Mom, and thank you forever. Yeah, man. I think that is pretty much it on Mama's Proud, and so I hope the song resonates with you the way that it does with me as well. Thank you very much for tuning in. Peace out.
Yeah, we're good.
We're good. We're good. We're good. We got this. We got this. Let's get it.
Yeah.